Welcome to Can Do Greek by GreekPod101.com.
Γεια σε όλους, είμαι η Χρυσή Παπαδοπούλου. Hi everyone, I'm Χρυσή Παπαδοπούλου. In this lesson, you'll learn how to greet someone at different times of the day.
Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Greek ebook before it's gone.
This is Anna Maria Aslanido, the Lee family's Greek teacher. Her schedule for the day is Mark Lee at 9 a.m., Karen Lee at 12 p.m., Ben Lee at 6 p.m. Listen to the greeting exchange between the three pairs. Pay attention to the time of day.
Καλημέρα, κυρία Ασλανίδου.
Καλημέρα, κύριε Λί.
Γεια σας.
Γεια σας.
Καλησπέρα, κυρία.
Καλησπέρα, Μπεν.
Once more with the English translation.
Καλημέρα, κυρία Ασλανίδου.
Good morning, Miss Aslanido.
Καλημέρα, κύριε Λί.
Good morning, Mr. Lee.
Γεια σας.
Hello.
Γεια σας.
Hello.
Καλησπέρα, κυρία.
Good evening, Miss.
Καλησπέρα, Μπεν.
Good evening, Ben.
Let's take a closer look at each of these expressions.
In the first conversation, do you remember how Mark says, Good morning, Miss Aslanido?
Καλημέρα, κυρία Ασλανίδου.
First is,
Καλημέρα.
which literally means good day, but translates as good morning in this context.
Καλημέρα. Καλημέρα.
Note, this greeting is usually used early in the morning up until 12 p.m. In our scenario, it's 9 a.m. Therefore, this is the most suitable greeting for that time of the day. Next is
Κυρία.
Miss.
Κυρία. Κυρία.
This is an honorific used to address a woman. Finally, the teacher's family name,
Ασλανίδου.
Aslanido.
Ασλανίδου. Ασλανίδου.
Together,
Κυρία Ασλανίδου.
Miss Aslanido.
Κυρία Ασλανίδου.
All together,
Καλημέρα, κυρία Ασλανίδου.
good morning, Miss Aslanido.
Καλημέρα, κυρία Ασλανίδου.
This is a formal way to say good morning to someone that you don't know well, or to someone who is much older than you, or when you want to sound respectful regardless of the reason. Note, you can tone this down a bit by replacing the last name with the first name of the person. In that case, you'll manage to sound respectful, but more intimate. Do you remember the teacher's response? Good morning, Mr. Lee.
Καλημέρα, κύριε Λί.
First is,
Καλημέρα.
good morning.
Καλημέρα.
Next is,
Κύριε.
Mr.
Κύριε. Κύριε.
This is an honorific used to address a man. Finally, Mark's family name, Lee, pronounced in Greek.
Λι. Λι.
Altogether, it's,
Καλημέρα, κύριε Λι.
good morning, Mr. Lee.
Καλημέρα, κύριε Λί.
Please note that this is a formal exchange. In the second conversation, which takes place at noon, do you remember how Karen says, hello?
Γεια σας.
Note that Karen's greeting is a bit less formal since she doesn't include the teacher's name.
Γεια σας.
Hello.
Γεια σας.
First is,
Γεια.
meaning something like health, but translating as hello.
Γεια. Γεια.
When the situation is informal, this
Γεια.
can be used as a greeting or parting expression on its own. Next is,
Σας.
this literally means your.
Σας. Σας.
Here, it's used to complete the formal greeting.
Γεια σας.
Altogether, it's
Γεια σας.
meaning something like your health, but it translates as hello in a formal situation.
Γεια σας.
The teacher's response is the same.
Γεια σας.
In an informal situation,
Γεια σας.
becomes
Γεια σου. Γεια σου.
in the third conversation, which takes place in the evening at 6 p.m., do you remember how Ben says, good evening, miss?
Καλησπέρα κύρια.
First is,
Καλησπέρα.
good evening, in this case.
Καλησπέρα. Καλησπέρα.
Note, this greeting is usually used from noon throughout the rest of the day, including the night. In our scenario, it's 6 p.m. Therefore, this is the most suitable greeting for that time of the day. Next is
Κυρία.
miss.
Κυρία.
Altogether,
Καλησπέρα κυρία.
good evening, miss.
Καλησπέρα κύρια.
Do you remember the teacher's response? Good evening, Ben.
Καλησπέρα, Μπεν.
Καλησπέρα.
Good evening.
Καλησπέρα.
Next is Ben's name pronounced in Greek.
Ben. Ben.
Together, it's
Καλησπέρα Ben.
good evening, Ben.
Καλησπέρα, Μπεν.
Note, in Greek schools, it is common for the students to address their teacher using formal language, whereas the teacher may address the students using informal language, especially if the students are children. Here, the teacher uses the first name of the student without an honorific, instead of his last name. This is quite informal.
As we mentioned above, the most common Greek greeting is "Γεια," which derives from the Greek word υγεία, meaning health in English. Therefore, in Greek, when someone says hello, it's like they're wishing you good health. Let's look at the parting greetings once more. Listen and repeat or speak along with me. Γεια σας. Γεια σας. Καλησπέρα, κυρία. Καλησπέρα, κυρία. Γεια σου. Γεια σου. Καλημέρα, κύριε. Καλημέρα, κύριε. Γεια. Γεια. Did you notice the last greeting?
Wondering how you can master these conversations even faster? Here's how. 1. Read along. You get the lesson conversation and translations inside our dialogue tool, so that you see each word as you hear it and understand it all. 2. Practice speaking. By shadowing what you hear, you can also record and compare yourself with native speakers with our voice recording tools. And 3. Take our assessment tests and see how much you remember. These tools are part of our Can-Do course. Just click the link in the description to get them.
Γεια.
Hi.
Γεια.
Hi.
Γεια. Γεια.
When the situation is informal, you can just use the greeting
Γεια,
hi at any time of the day.
γεια,
Is a shorter alternative to
γεια σου. Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say good morning? Καλημέρα. Καλημέρα. And how Mark addresses Miss Aslanidou? Κυρία Ασλανίδου. Κυρία Ασλανίδου. Do you remember how Mark says, Good morning, Miss Aslanidou?
Καλημέρα κυρία Ασλανίδου.
Καλημέρα, κυρία Ασλανίδου. And how Miss Aslanidou addresses Mr. Lee? Κύριε Lee. Κύριε Lee. Do you remember how Miss Aslanidou says, Good morning, Mr. Lee?
Καλημέρα, κύριε Λί.
Καλημέρα, κύριε Lee. Do you remember the informal way to say hi? Yeah. Yeah. And how Karen says hello?
Γεια σας.
Γεια σας. Do you remember how to say good evening? Καλησπέρα. Καλησπέρα. And how Ben says, Good evening, miss.
Καλησπέρα κυρία.
Καλησπέρα, κυρία. Do you remember the informal way to say hello? Γεια σου. Γεια σου.
Let's practice. Imagine you're Ben Lee and you're attending your morning class. Respond by saying hello. Ready?
Γεια σου.
Γεια σου.
Listen again and repeat.
Γεια σου. Γεια σου.
Let's try another. Imagine you're Mark Lee and you're attending your afternoon class. Respond by saying, Hello, Miss Aslanidou. Ready?
Γεια σας.
Γεια σας κυρία Ασλανίδου.
Listen again and repeat.
Γεια σας κυρία Ασλανίδου. Γεια σας κυρία Ασλανίδου.
Let's try one more. Imagine you're Karen Lee and you meet your neighbor in the evening. Respond by saying, Good evening. Ready?
Καλησπέρα.
Καλησπέρα.
Listen again and repeat.
Καλησπέρα. Καλησπέρα.
This is the end of this lesson.
Now, here's what you can do to cement this conversation in your head. Review the conversation with our dialogue tool and lesson transcripts. Study the key words and phrases with our spaced repetition flashcards. Review the key grammar and cultural tips inside the lesson notes. And test yourself with our assessment tests. So click the link in the description right now and sign up for your free lifetime account to access our Can-Do course.
Now you know how to greet someone at different times of the day. That's all there is to it. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.